As the death toll surpasses 12,000 from those dual earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, Australian charities are teaming up to help. 15 non-government organisations are collaborating for the Emergency Action Alliance in the disaster zone. Joining me live is Sally Thomas, Caritas Australians, humanitarian lead of the Middle East, one of the charities involved in the recovery efforts. Thanks very much for your time. Look, such utter devastation. There's been these glimmers of hope. None more incredible, I guess, than this newborn baby somehow surviving. It's keeping teams, I guess, just in this short-term part of the emergency going through such tough conditions.
That is correct. So as we're seeing, there is a lot of efforts going in at the rescue and recovery, but there's also hundreds of thousands of people at this moment that are just in survival mode, trying to survive every day. As we know, the weather conditions there are extreme. We've got conditions, freezing conditions, and we're hearing stories of people on the ground that they're too scared to stay inside their houses because they keep collapsing, and but some of them are racing in, just trying to get anything they can. This is in areas of northern Syria where it's been a crisis upon a crisis due to 12 years of war, but they're just trying to get anything they can to survive through the night in the freezing temperatures, blankets, a hot meal. They're looking for their loved ones and just trying to survive day by day.
Yeah, because as much as you've had these sort of glimmers of hope, you've also got such devastation and, you know, these stories of kids instantly becoming orphans, of children dying, and sometimes parents sitting there waiting at these sites hoping their child might be pulled out, and the chances of that are sadly so slim.
Exactly. As we know, we're now in day 3 of the recovery. Chances are getting smaller and smaller. But look, everybody on the ground, they talk about the relief efforts and volunteers. It is very evident from speaking with my Caritas colleagues on the ground, and everyone, women, children, the elderly, everyone is pitching in at the moment just to help in these emergency efforts, just to try to find loved ones, help their neighbours, anything that they can do to survive through yet another day. And they do know that the road ahead is going to be very long and very, very difficult. Roads are down, electricity is down, heating supplies. It's very, very complicated at the moment, but everyone, as you were saying, where agencies here in Australia are coming together to try to coordinate efforts on the ground.
A lot of attention from the world right now is on this situation, so thankfully there'll be a lot of short-term assistance. I'm not pretending it'll be easy. You spoke about the nightmare of logistics there. It's very cold at the moment, but often the really hard path is a longer-term one, and the rebuild here. So what hope is there that the rebuild will be better this time? Because we've seen this play out before, and earthquakes are just, the buildings there are not built to cope with the earthquakes. How do we do it differently this time?
It's a very good question. I was on the ground for quite a while after the extreme earthquake in Haiti. I was at my second trip there 2 years after the event. People were still living on top of mounds of rubble. People were, it's so difficult to even just remove the rubble before you can rebuild. So in the weeks and the months ahead, it's the people will be trying to recover personal items, but as you were saying, that the longer term, it's going to take years and years for people to be able to rebuild their livelihoods.
So on that, Sally, is that I sit here in comfortable Australia and say, rebuild better, get some buildings that are better purposed for it. But if people are still without a home a couple of years in, the quicker the better for them, and that becomes what they settle for, because it's either that or wait for years. Is that the crux of the problem?
There's a multitude, multi-layered effects. I mean, you'll get some people now, the immediate response, they'll be going to tents, which then is safe during an earthquake. But yeah, it's extremely difficult to get educating the people on how to build correctly. You then got, as you were saying before, logistical challenges. How can you then try to get the correct resources and information through to the people to help them to understand how to build better? It's also expensive to build in that manner. So it is it is very, very tricky. But this is also why, it's a lot about information, providing services, looking at how we can come up with ideas and ways how to assist the people for better livelihoods.
Whether it's technology, an international fund, whatever it might be, I'm sure there'll be calls for that to take shape. We'll see. Thank you very much for your time. And of course, as well, if you'd like to help out the recovery efforts in Syria and Turkey, you can head to the website emergencyaction.org.au, emergencyaction.org.au. Few more needed causes right now.